beautiful little fairy. How are you doing today? I hope you're having fun. I hope you're having a good day. Today is going to be so much fun because we're talking about glamour magic and specifically my beauty tips as a glamour witch. So if you're new here, hello, my name is Luna and this is basically what I do. Yeah, witchy beauty things. So for anybody who's new here and you're like, what is glamour magic? Or you've heard of it and you're kind of just like, what does that even mean? The way that I like to describe it is it's sort of a mixture between psychology and metaphysics. So it uses a lot of witchy things, but it also uses psychology and the senses as well. We know that it's been scientifically proven that colors can affect our mood, and they do affect our mood. And I kind of have a funny story. I like my really big t-shirts, and one day I had my favorite gray one on, but I was feeling very sad that day, and it was not for really any reason. And I was just like, oh, man, I want to feel better. And I was like, okay, we're gonna test this. We're gonna test the theory out. I'm gonna put on something yellow. I don't really like yellow. Yellow's not really my color. But I put it on and I instantly felt better. And it's not going to cure, mental illness. It's not going to fix your entire life by putting on yellow once. But I think with continued practice and a mixture of all these different things, we can really alter our reality and the things we experience and how we feel and how we approach the world. So color psychology is a big one that I like because it's easy to understand and it has been proven by science. A lot of these things are my own experience and I haven't put them to the scientific test, but I'm going to share them with you anyways. And also, senses. We know that scent is, if you don't know this, I have a bombshell for you. Scent is so insane to our brains. Our brains love it, right? So, when you smell something and it immediately takes you back to a specific moment or a specific memory, it's so crazy. Things that we have forgotten can be brought back by scent. So it really goes to show how moving scent can be for our brains, and we know that we perceive the world because of our brains. Our brains tell us kind of what to see. So that's my theory for how, this really does help change our lives. And these are very simple tips. These are my daily or weekly routines, things that I do to try to bring in a bit more beauty and glamour into my life. And another note, I know this is getting a little rambly, but if you're new here, this is a very common experience. Another note is maybe journal right now if you have your notes app or pen and paper, or just think about it, pause the video and think about it. You can let me know in the comments as well if you want to share it with the group. But ask yourself, what is beauty to you? What is glamour? What are you trying to achieve? This video, we're specifically talking about beauty, and that actually can be a very broad term. What you find beautiful and what beauty means to you can be very different than somebody else. So sit with that. And checking my teeth for lipstick. Oh, we do have lipstick on the teeth. Checking in with yourself and seeing what is that for you. For me, beauty is feeling embodied. It's when I feel connected to my physical self, and it's when I feel confident. It's not that I match the beauty standards that society has put onto me, because we all know that's sometimes impossible. And, we can't fit ourselves into a box like that. But finding out what is beautiful to you, what makes you feel beautiful, we're gonna get into it. It's exciting. I am collaborating with Dossier today for this video, so thank you so much to Dossier. I love you guys so much. And I wanted to show you guys the perfumes that I got. So firstly, if you guys don't know, Dossier is a fragrance company and they reproduce high quality fragrances at the fraction of a price. So they're very, very affordable. Plus, I have a coupon for you guys, so stay tuned for a little bit longer and you will hear it. But they keep literally the same high quality. I swear by this, you guys. I have the Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet, and then I have the Dossier version, and it is literally the same thing. So if you're someone like me who doesn't like spending hundreds of dollars on really good fragrances, this is perfect for you because they are so good. They're very long lasting. I swear to you guys, I'll spray one on me And then I will put on that same shirt like the next day and it just still smells like it. It's very good. It lasts a long time. Look how cute the boxes are. I love them so much. And they do have a risk-free system. So if you get a perfume and it doesn't smell like how you wanted it to smell, there is a 30-day return policy, no questions asked. So super simple for that. You guys know I have a lot of Dossier perfumes now. I have 12, I think, and I literally love them all. Even the unisex ones are so nice on, you know, the days where I'm feeling a bit more masculine or I just want a little bit more of that energy. So today I've got Gourmand Patchouli, I hope I'm saying that right, and Spicy Mimosa. How perfect for glamour. These are both like so sensual. And when you get them, they give you a little card and it tells you the notes, what it's inspired by, the concentration, and a little bit about Dossier. The Gourmand Patchouli is so good. This is very sexy because it's like, it's very warm. It's warm, and that's the bottom. The base notes are caramel, vanilla, and cocoa, but it is fruity. They've got some fruit on the top notes, and it's so good. It's so nice. It's very warm and sexy, and I'm all about that right now. And then we've got Spicy Mimosa, which is inspired by Jo Malone's Mimosa and Cardamom Cologne. So this is one of the unisex ones, and I really like unisex fragrances. I don't think fragrances need genders, you know what I'm saying? And this one it's a lot more, it's soothing and it's a bit more subtle, which I like. I always like mixing them together because then you can kind of craft your own special fragrance. So we've got the smoothness and the sexiness. These smell really good. These are also like very fall. Like it's like the first day of autumn today. It's so good. And yeah, these really bring me in. So if you want to get your own, make sure to use my coupon code LUNA10 for 10% off your order. And make sure to bundle the deals because they have even more coupons on their website with bundles. So if you can stack them and you can get even more off with my coupon. So have fun. And Dossier is also using a new payment method that lets you earn credit. So make sure at the last step of your checkout to select Catch and you'll get a $10 store credit. And you'll also get 10% store credit on every order. So very, very good to use. Let me know in the comments which ones you guys get and we'll be scent twins. Eee! Okay, back to the video. So you guys think I'm wearing enough pink today? This is an example. Pink is one of my power colors. I always say pink is my lucky color. I feel more vibrant and more myself and connected to my glamour energy when I'm wearing pink, which really isn't a surprise because pink is connected to the heart chakra and it is also the color associated with Venus and goddesses of beauty and love. So obviously, you know, but you might have a different, you know, power color. Yours might be green or blue or black or white or whatever. And the point that I'm making is find that color for you. Mine is a bit of an exaggeration, right? I'm going pretty hardcore with the pink. But, you know, find that color for you and find the level that feels good. A lot of us are going to be a bit more extravagant with our clothing, and the others will maybe be a bit more mellow, and whatever you fit in is perfect. Just don't force yourself. Don't feel like you have to be, you know, like I wear a lot of rings, a lot of jewelry. Don't feel like you have to do that to be confident, to feel beautiful, because there's no set thing that's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Being embodied and feeling comfortable in yourself and feeling confident in yourself is what beauty is, in my opinion, and finding what it is that makes you feel comfortable and embodied is the literal key, okay? Step 1, figure out what makes you feel beautiful. So let's get into my tips because you guys know me, I'm just going on forever. My first thing that I like to do, and this is obviously mixing glamour with magic, spirituality, psychology, metaphysics, as I said. Let's start from the basics. Cleansing, showering ourselves. We do this regularly. So this is something that you can take to the next level with your senses and affirmations and things like that, visualization. And these are all things that have been proven by psychology to be effective and to actually change our brain waves and change our line of thinking. And as we know here in the spiritual community, you know, we only are conscious of about, I think, 10% of our thoughts average. And so the other 90% are habitual thoughts that come through. And, you know, this is a lot of times what we hear others saying about themselves, how we hear our mothers talk about themselves, how society talks about us. And this is such a ramble, I'm going on for so long, but becoming conscious of your thought is so important. Affirmations work really well because they start to rewire our brain, and instead of going to the worst case scenario or, oh my God, no one thinks I'm funny, or whatever it is, you are rewiring your brain to think the opposite or to think something better. And, affirmations, if you're not familiar, you're just repeating a statement in the present tense that is something positive about yourself that you want to achieve or manifest. So affirmations, they are not something you already have or feel, though they can be if you are feeling like, for example, say that you feel like you're a good artist, but you're not 100% confident. So even though you're like, yeah, I am a good artist, saying every day, I am a great artist, I'm an amazing artist, people love my art, just taking it to the next level. So it doesn't have to be something completely foreign to you, but it can be. Like if you are like, I'm a shitty artist, like I cannot draw for the life of me, but you want to become a good artist, then saying, I'm a good artist, people love my art, I love my art, things like that. And obviously taking practical steps to get better art and to increase your skills, if you will. That's a long explanation of what an affirmation is. So when I am wanting to bring some glamour magic into my shower routine, there are a couple things that I like to do to promote self-love. I really feel like self-love is at the core of glamour and beauty and increasing your attraction and magnetism. And so what I like to do is when I'm showering, you can, if you want, this might be a challenge. Showering with cool water is really good for your aura. It is really cleansing, and it feels really cleansing. And I mean, you know this if you've ever dipped in the ocean or a lake, it's incredibly cleansing. And I know this can be hard. I used to be like the boiling hot water type of shower. And, all the memes about like showering with your boyfriend and then them like dying because it's so hot. Literally my life, right? So I've had to... It's been a challenge learning to do cool and cold water, but honestly, it's really good for your hair too, especially if you color your hair, and it's really cleansing, and I think you'll find that you like it. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but with the cool shower, visualize any negativity coming off of you. To take this up a notch, if you use a body scrub, incorporate that into your routine. Scrubs are really good because you can visualize yourself scrubbing off anything that you feel like you say to yourself that hinders your self-confidence. So if you start noticing how your thought process goes and you realize, I really beat myself up, like, for example, maybe you get really bad social anxiety and afterwards you're like, oh my God, why did I say that? Like, I was so embarrassing. If you catch yourself saying those things, see that leave your body when you're cleansing with the cool water, with the body scrub, with soap, with your shampoo too. This is really good too because our crown chakra is up here, and this is where we receive intuition and divine insight, so we can really unblock that really well. Any soap, any physical cleansing products can be used, and use your visualization for the metaphysical as you're cleansing that off of you, and really just release that shit. Let it go down the drain. You can see it go, right? I like to keep eucalyptus in my shower. This is another really good thing for cleansing. Eucalyptus is a very cleansing and purifying herb. So if you're into the herbalism, I think you would enjoy that. That's one of my favorite things to do. And it's very fragrant, especially, mine's not because it's really old. I need to get a new one. But as it's new, the heat from the shower, which if you're not doing heat, it might not be so much, but still, the moisture in the air will get that scent out of there, and it's very aromatic. It's very good for the senses, and I really just like to have it there. It makes your shower just look a lot more spa-like. So you can also use lotion and oil after your shower. This is something I do every time. I will link some of my Glamour Magic videos below where I go a little bit more in depth on this, but what I like to do is, as I'm applying the lotion, same with what I said about the affirmations before and the visualization, instead of seeing it leave your body, as you're putting the lotion into your skin, imagine your affirmations going into your skin with the lotion. So you're massaging it into your skin. That's another good thing, giving yourself back massages. My neck gets very tight, so I will rub my neck and put my lotion on and just say my affirmations of I am beautiful, I am worthy, I am loved, I am safe. Whatever it is that you're trying to bring in, just say those things as you're putting on your lotion, and it will become a habit. You'll just start to immediately think that when you're putting on your lotion. And when you're doing stuff like putting on lotion, you really do kind of enter a meditative state, because it's like kind of a mindless task. You're not really thinking about the action that you're doing, so your mind is a bit more idle. So when you're thinking about those things, they can get deeper into, the alpha brain waves? I'm not sure. But basically the part of your brain that really integrates thoughts into your subconscious. So I really like doing that. It's good for the skin. It is, it's just nice to pamper yourself. And I think when you start to incorporate pampering into your life, you're showing your body that you care about it and that you're worthy of being pampered. A small little thing that I do is every full moon, I paint my nails, my toenails. I always am doing my fingernails, so that never lines up. But I always make sure to, on the full moon, have a moment where I paint my nails. Doesn't matter how busy I am going to paint my nails. And it's just setting that time aside to give yourself a little extra love. The world is not going to fall apart if I don't paint my toenails. Nothing is going to happen. There's no repercussions. It's not something I need to do, but it's something that I dedicate time towards because I know it makes me feel pampered. And I think that's really important, and it's a way to kind of just treat yourself. As I've said, affirmations are a huge thing, okay? So that is something I want you to take away from this and get creative with how you are incorporating them. When I was starting out, it was kind of just everyone was like, make your affirmations, say them 5 times in the morning, 5 times at night in the mirror, do it every day. And I was like, man, that sounds boring as hell. And I don't know how I'm going to remember to do that. So what I've kind of done in my practice is find creative ways to bring affirmations into my life. You can say them while driving. You can say them while tying your shoes. One thing that I like to do is I have a lot of hair. This is all natural. I'm actually going to cut a little bit off, I think. We'll see. I have a lot of hair. I braid it at night and I brush it a lot because it gets tangly. So that is something that I do that relates to beauty and glamour, where I can kind of add a cadence of affirmations into it. So say you're braiding your hair, this kind of ties into Not Magic too, if you're familiar with that. As you're braiding your hair, state your affirmation and kind of visualize it getting, every time you do a braid, kind of a knot, right? Every time you do one, say the affirmation. It's kind of a chant, it's a cadence, so you're going to say it every time you do a braid. If you're brushing your hair, every time you do a brush, say the affirmation. And it gets you into this meditative space where it can integrate into your subconscious, like I said before. And you can really tailor this to your needs. I would say the 2 most common things that I would do is just for confidence and self-love. So while you're braiding, you could even have a mix-up I am beautiful, I am loved, I am worthy, and then repeat that, or just have one. It's best to keep these affirmations short, or else, it's going to take you a long time to braid your hair. And you can also do this to veil, okay? Veiling is something I'm going to talk about just in a little bit, but you can do the braids for protection or the brushing for protection. So every time you do a brush or a braid, say some sort of protective affirmation, and this will kind of integrate that protective energy within your hair. And what I would do is if I was braiding my hair, I would also imagine a crystal bubble around me to extend the protection outwards. One of my favorite things that I do, I tell all my clients about this. So every time I do a Good Witch reading or any of my tarot and astrology readings, and they're interested in glamour magic and they want to know what's the easiest way I can bring it into my life, let's talk about sigils and icons in your makeup, okay? It's so much fun. You guys have seen this if you've seen some of my makeup videos. It is so simple as when you're putting on your primer. This could also be in your lotion too. Primer, foundation, concealer, any of your face stuff. Do it with an icon. So you can put your foundation as a heart on your face and then blend it out. You can do zodiac symbols. You can do like sigils that you've made up, or you can do, you know, whatever it is, like words if you want. And it just kind of like puts that, it's like invisible ink is kind of what I think of. Like it's there and then you blend it away, but that energy is still there helping you to bring that kind of energy forward in your life. You know, our faces are seen by everyone. So doing protection, doing beautification spells, things like that in your makeup, it's really, really beneficial. Something that I've been loving, you guys, you're gonna love this. So, as some of you may or may not know, I just came out with my own love oil. It's so beautiful. I'm so in love with it. It's perfect. I love it so much. And it's so, so, so good. I will have it linked below. But what I do with this oil is when I apply it onto my skin, I'll write something into my skin. So I will write love or protection or beauty or I am, whatever it is, you know, sex, whatever it is that you want. Put that, like you can write it because the dropper is really nice. You can pick it up and then, you know, write it with the dropper. And it's so perfect. It's so wonderful. I will have more information about my oil on my website and I'll have it down below for you guys. This is literally my baby. I'm probably gonna make a whole video on it because it's so amazing and so perfect. I think it's literally a must-have for everybody who is a glamour or love or sensual witch. It is just literally perfection and it's so beautiful. It also has shimmer in it. It's got shimmer in there and it's not too glittery, but it'll make you a little bit like glowy. And so I like putting that on my shoulders and it just makes me feel even more like a goddess. I don't know, something about having sheen and glitter on me, it's so good. So what I do though, when I'm using this as like a sort of spell oil or perfume oil, it's not super, there's no fragrance in it. There's only essential oils. I have very sensitive skin and I understand a lot of people do as well. So when I'm putting it on me as a spell oil, so if I'm trying to attract things, this is really, really good for attracting if you're trying to attract your desires or attract money, literally love, whatever it is you're trying to attract, this is amazing. I'll just take it and on my wrist, I'll just do a little heart and I'll visualize what it is that I'm trying to manifest or bring into my life. And then I'll just do this in a clockwise motion. You don't have to get that specific. That's just what I do. And it does smell really good, but it's not like a perfume because there's no fragrance in it. So it's just essential oils, but it smells really good. It's very sensual. And so that's been one of my favorite things. So with any spell oil or any perfume oil, anything like that, you can just write a sigil or an icon, like a little heart or something, into your wrist or wherever you're applying it, and let that kind of like sink in, if that makes sense. So since we're talking about the senses, and I just like cannot like harp on this enough, how much the senses are so impactful in glamour magic. I gave you guys the story of me in the gray t-shirt earlier, but it really is true. Another thing that I'll tell you is, you know, we change, like we as we age, you guys can tell I'm very mature. As we age, we change. When I was in high school, you guys, I was waking up at 4 or 5 in the morning to curl my hair, put on these tight clothes, wear my heels, and I'm like, nowadays I'm like, girl, I can't do that. So sometimes I try to wear, you know, corsets and tight clothes that are a little bit, you know, tighter, a little bit uncomfy, but cute. And I cannot do it anymore. I simply cannot. And the thing that I've noticed is, although I might look, when I first put it on, I might look really sexy, I might look really good. An hour from then, I'm not gonna look good because I am uncomfortable. And I really don't think we can fully embody our glamour when we feel uncomfortable. Like I said before, this is all about what makes you feel good. And glamour, literally, and beauty, beauty is not from a pretty face. Beauty is not from the perfect body. It really is not. I know society has told you that, but it's really not. It is, I promise this is so cliche, right? But it really is from within, and it's something that everybody can work towards. So don't let yourself fall into the trap of, I need to wear this to look pretty. Because if you wear it and you are uncomfortable, it's not gonna be good, girl. It's not gonna be good, okay? Really, like, let yourself explore clothing. I have found ways to still feel sexy and still wear, you know, a little bit spicy clothes without feeling suffocated. Work with fabrics. I love fabrics. Silk, you know, fuzzy things, they might be your thing. Or maybe you're like into leather. Like maybe you're really into lace and leather and those kind of things, and those work for you and those make you feel really empowered. Just going with it. So now let's talk about veiling. I talked about this a bit earlier. That is what I'm doing right here with this. By the way, I'll link where to get this below. I love this. This is from a small witchy business that I follow on Instagram. Kat is so sweet. She runs the business, and this is an altar cloth, actually, you guys. But, you know, I love veiling, so I will absolutely use an altar cloth as a hair scarf. Doesn't matter. So veiling is something that I teach all my clients who are into glamour magic. I think something that gets very overlooked and like the pop magic vibe of glamour magic is protection. And I think when you're doing glamour magic, protection's really important. So when you're, you know, using my attraction oil and you're trying to manifest things and trying to come off as very attractive to, you know, get whatever you want. I don't care what you're doing, but you know, when you're putting that energy out there, if you don't properly protect yourself, you can attract not only some negative stuff, but you can attract just too much. Okay, sometimes you do a spell and then you leave the house and men won't stop talking to you. Maybe that's cool for you. I'm not a fan of it. I would rather them not. So sometimes we need to think about our protections. And you know, the world's a little crazy out there sometimes, okay? It really is. And I want you guys to be safe, okay? And I'm all about glamour and beauty, but we need to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves and that we are putting up our protection. So veiling is one of the ways of protection. This specifically, putting a hair scarf on your head, it's seen in so many cultures, especially relating to religion and things like that. And what I use it for is to protect the crown chakra. This is honestly a sensory thing as well. It's also a metaphysical thing, but in the physical realm, as somebody who is neurodivergent, I can get very overwhelmed in crowded spaces and like grocery stores and stuff. And when I have a head covering, I just feel safer. It's really weird, but it's a thing. So veiling does help with that physically, but it also helps metaphysically with the energy centers. So like I said before, the crown chakra is at the top of our head. And by covering it, you can help protect yourself against energy vampires and just feeling really drained. So if you're somebody who feels really drained by going out and having human interaction, you'll probably find a lot of help with this. Also, a lot of people do this when they are performing tarot or they're doing readings for others as just another way to protect yourself spiritually and psychically. So that's one thing. But you don't have to get a fancy hair scarf. I do like this one, but you can just use hats. A lot of the time when I'm going like out doing errands, I'm not gonna put on the work of putting on a veil. I'll just throw on like a baseball cap or, you know, yeah, just like a hat of some sort. And that does the same thing. It's all about the energy. So you can also have a sort of piece of clothing as a veil. This is something that I think is really important. I kind of think of this as my cloak of invisibility. And this is, you can kind of like enchant a jacket with this kind of energy. You know, whenever I am not wanting to be seen or like I really don't want to talk to people this day, or maybe I've just been feeling a little unsafe and I just want some extra protection going out, I will kind of just do like an on-the-spot little thing for myself. But you can enchant like a hoodie with it and just have that be a protective piece that kind of acts as your invisibility cloak. I like to kind of just envision, again, just like a protective bubble and just kind of like being invisible. So yeah, that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Hope I don't have lipstick on my teeth again. Again, if you guys want to get my oil, it's a loud motorcycle. If you guys want to get my oil, I've got 3 left as I'm speaking, and these are going to be made, this is my tester, these are going to be made on the new moon in Libra, And the next batch will be made on the full moon in Aries. So if you're wanting some of that spicy energy, I will have it on my website down below. It is my baby. I'm so excited. This is the first time I've ever created like a product. And like I said, I'll have another video on it in the future where I can go a bit more in depth about how I use it and maybe a little bit about the process of making it and things like that. But yes, thank you so much to everyone who has purchased it so far. I really appreciate you so much. It means so much. It means the world to me. And thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Remember that you're beautiful and you have all the answers inside of you. And all you have to do is just connect with yourself. So treat yourself with kindness. Treat yourself like the goddess that you are. And I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.